Yeah, good morning, Jaipur. Hi, students. So, in previous two tutorials, I started functions. In first tutorial, I introduced functions and its importance. And in the second tutorial, I discussed with you one calling mechanism that is known as call by value. So, if you saw my recent, or you can say the previous video, then you can observe the drawback in the call by value mechanisms. So, in a very popular programming language that is known as programming in C, that became a very popular language in the days of 1980s, 1990s. Even for the hardware and embedded programming, this language is still in the market. So, the second concept, which was introduced by C language, or you can say programming in C, we can do that kind of concept that is known as pointer based calling, or you can say you can be passed the address of actual variable. So now let's see the second kind of example. So in the previous example, you observe that we passed the values directly, but in the call by pointer, what will happen actually? So you can declare your functions. At the declaration time, you have to pass pointer variables. So now please just see from this line, what you can do is the function declaration will be like this. Just see, this is the function declaration. So in the function declaration, just comment here, just put the semicolon here, and this is known as function declaration, and these are known as dummy variables, now dummy parameters you can say. So the same example of swapping of two variables which we had done in the last class, we are doing the same example. Now again the function will not return any value, it means the function return type is void, and the function name is swap. Again we are doing the swapping of two variable. Now just please note down, here we have to take one pointer variable. So x is a pointer variable which can store the address of integer kind data. I think you are a little bit aware about pointer, otherwise I will create another video for the pointer variables also. The second parameter is also of the same type. It means again it's a pointer, and it can also store the address of integer variable, and these variables are here again known as dummy variables. Okay, now you can take any name here if you want, otherwise compiler is not want here the variable name exactly, it just want the variable type, and we provided the compiler the complete information. We are going to pass integer kind of address to you. Okay, now this is the function declaration. Now just see what will be the function definition. So this is the function definitions, if you can note down, this is the function definition. So in the function definitions, you have to take the complete signature as you declared in the function. Signature means the return type, the function name, and the parameters. So here we had done the swapping with x and y. So just see, we have created one another variable. That variable is temporary. We put the value which hold by the x variable into the temp variable, then put the value which hold by y pointer into the x, and then again will copy the value from temp to the address that's stored by y variable. Okay, so here we had done the changes with the formal parameters. Now let's see how we can call such kind of functions. So there are two important things till now I have discussed in this session. One is the declaration, it means we have to pass the pointer variable, and the second thing is the definition. So you can define like this. Now the third thing is how we can call such kind of function. So just note down this line, this is the calling of function. Okay, and my actual variables, it means for which I want to do the operation, is a and b, and the value of a is 10 and the value of b is 20. Now I swapped here. Okay, so for swapping, because I know these functions required address, because I already assigned pointer variables here. So I called this function swap just by passing the value address of A and address of B. It means I am going to pass the address of actual variables. And now I just want to note down here just a minute. We can make the changes in directly program. And now I just want to check what will be the value of a and b. So now in the previous example, call by value, at that time the swapping was not happened. Now let's see in this example what will happen, and then through the compiler I will explain what will happen exactly. So just see again, through the compiler we have to do in the programming. So import the important header file if you required. I think you noticed from the last two programs I am using iostream.h header file of C++, as well as we have to use the console input output header file. Okay, now declare the swap function. So void swap, if you remember, then we have to pass two integer variable. Now you can avoid the variable name here. Just see, you can write down this simply, and star. It means you are sorry, you are telling to the compiler I am going to pass two integer kind address. Now define this swap. So at the definition time, this is function declaration, as I mentioned in the last session also. And formal parameters are there, dummy variables are there, as you know. And now you have to provide the dummy variables names. It means they becomes now at the definition time formal parameters. Now do the changes and take one another variable temp to hold the value for temporary. Now copy y into x, or you can say the value from address y to x, as well as the value from temp to address at x. So we had done the changes with the formal parameters. Okay, now let's see the effect. And this is the function definition. Please make habit to put comments in your program, so any other people who is reading your program can understand easily. Now let's come start our main function. So I am going to define my main function and just take the two value. If you want to take from user, you can take. So I created here a variable, the value of a is 10. For the simplicity, I am just taking a and b directly. I am initializing directly. Okay, now let's see before swap what happened. Before swap, a is what, and let's see b is what. So let's see the value of a is what. The value of a we have to display here, as well as the value of b. Okay, now call the swap. So for calling the swap, if you noticed in my slide, I already explained we have to pass the address. So address of actual where we are going to pass to the swap functions. So pass the address of a as well as pass the address of b, and this is known as function calling. If you notice from continuously last two videos, I am trying to tell you the three important things: declaration, definition, and calling. Sorry, okay. Now let's see. I think control insert is the command. To copy, and shift insert is for paste. So after swap, let's see what will be the value of a and what will be the value of b. Just a minute, your program will be finished within the 2 minutes. So let me compile the program with the help of Alt F9. Great, no error, no warning. Execute it. You can see before swap and after swap. So it means any change which you made in the formal parameters is directly affect to your actual parameters, which is not the case with the call by value. So this is the one plus point in the call by pointer. It means by making any change in formal parameters, you can directly affect to the actual parameters. Okay, now just let's see what happened exactly. So what happened exactly is, in the main block you have created a and b variable. So your compiler will generate 2 byte memory for a. It means a valid address for a variable, and store the value is 10. In the for the variable b, again it will assign a valid address and it will put the value is 20. So a having a one address, b having a one address. Let's assume a address is home number. You can say a and b are the two candidates. Those are living on separate homes. So let's assume a is living at address home number 101, and let's assume b is living in a different address 201. Okay, so there are two homes. One is home number 101 and the second one is home number 201. Now what we are doing, before swap we just see the value of a and b, and we notice without calling of swap your value are not changed. Now we call the swap, because we use the concept of call by pointer. So we call these functions by passing the address. It means I am providing the swap functions home number 101 as well as home number 201. It means the address of a and address of b. Now compiler directly comes here, it will check the declaration and definitions and it will start working. Now x contains the address of a. It means again x will have a separate memory, but in its memory it will have the address of a. It means x having home number 101 and y having home number 201. Now whatever you are changing here, indirectly, or you can say with the help of these formal parameters, you are making the change at this address. It means by the formal parameters you are doing the change at home number 101 as well as home number 201. It means any change which made by you through formal parameters will directly affect to the actual parameter. So this is the advantage of call by pointer. Now let's discuss. There is also one drawback. The drawback is what? If you noticed, then a and b variable will occupy 2 byte. It depends on the compiler, no doubt, but at least they will occupy 4 byte. 2 byte for a, 2 byte for b. And if you notice, these x and y variable having the separate address, it means a pointer variable also occupies some memory, and at least in this case you can say 2 byte. Okay, so again, in call by value and call by pointer concept, in both concept the memory consumption is same, but call by pointer having advantage because any change made in the formal parameter can directly affect to the actual parameter. So thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. Please like my channel, please subscribe my channel.